Okay. All right, let's get this party started. I'm still having some glitches here, but I'll get it straight. Okay, looks like I'm on. Okay, I'm Candia with Candia Hainsworth Designs. Thank you so much for joining in. I have my webcam placed in a different part of my studio today because I have some exciting news. And so, those of you may know who are in the group Embroidery Boss that 2 weeks ago was my birthday, and my birthday presents are coming in. And I just wanted to talk about, some of the things that I am doing. I will be adding a heat press to my embroidery studio, and I'm super excited about that because that means that I can do personalized plates, cell phone cases, mugs, and so much more. And so I will be doing an unboxing of this heat press that I got from heatpressnation.com. I placed an order for it on July 24th. It came on July 31st. So I was super excited because it actually came about maybe a week and a half earlier than it was expected. It was supposed to be delivered on August 9th, but it came on my birthday. And I also purchased this Epson Artisan printer. My Epson printer is called an Artisan 1430, and that is so I'm going to be able to heat press t-shirts and so forth. And I have a vinyl cutter that's coming. I also have a sublimation printer, a 3D printer. And so I'm just so happy about the addition to my embroidery business because it's just going to add the icing on the cake for the services that I already offer. All right, so I just wanted to talk about that. And I see so far we have quite a few people that are joining in. And tonight's topic, or tonight's topic rather, we are going to jump into embroidery service contracts. Okay, embroidery service contracts. We're going to talk about why it's important, why you need it as an embroidery business owner, what it means to have an embroidery service contract, and even for the customer, how it benefits them as well. Okay, and so join on in, and I will go down and acknowledge everyone's here in between the conversation, but I just want to jump right into it. And so let's talk about an embroidery service contract. A lot of the times, embroidery business owners, not even the customer or the client, the embroidery business owner, from what I have found, seems like they get a little bit nervous when we talk about formation of an embroidery service contract, and you need it. It is so important. It's so crucial to your embroidery business. I can't imagine not doing embroidery services right now in this day and age. Because I don't want to sit here and act like I've never done embroidery business without a service contract, but I can tell you it did hurt me. It hurt me in every which way that an embroidery business owner could hurt, or an embroidery business could hurt. It hurt me financially. It cost me time. It cost me materials. It cost me my reputation at times. Okay, because I did not have an embroidery service contract in place. So I really want to talk about it a little bit more. I know I did a video on my embroidery service contract, and I did express, how important it was. But I find that with my mentoring students, and not only my mentoring students, people, my YouTube videos, members of the group Embroidery Boss, a lot of times people still don't have embroidery service contracts in place, and I think it's because a lot of people think that it has to be this big, involved kind of thing. I don't know if it's because of what I've shown my embroidery service contract, and it was kind of like real extensive, but it really doesn't need to be that way. So let's get into what an embroidery service contract is. First of all, an embroidery service contract. Oh, wait a minute. Am I there? I see that it says that I'm offline. What happened? What happened here? Okay, I'm going to continue because it says that it's streaming again. I don't know, this thing, and it seems like it's lagging. I don't even know what to do. And no one's here with me. So I can't even ask my son for customer support or technical support. But I want to make sure that everyone is still on. It's telling me that it's not healthy. So, yeah, Stella Bird just told me that I froze. I just realized that. So, I don't want to, oh, man, this is so frustrating. I don't want to continue until I know that I am up and running again. I don't know what I should do. Okay, but I see that it's still going. So I'm going to continue to go because the time is still going. It just seems like it's lagging a bit. Okay, so I have no control over it freezing at this point. No one's here with me, and my internet, we have one of the highest speed. And this is a new camera, HD 1080, so I'm not sure what is going on. I'm not sure if the rain have something to do with it or what, but I'm the only one here using the internet, so there should be no lagging time. So I just want to go back into what an embroidery service contract is. All right. And now, first of all, you need to know that an embroidery service contract is not a scary thing. So as a business owner, I don't want you to think, oh gosh, Candy, are you going to make this really involved? No, it should be customized to your business. Not because that's what I do with my mentoring program. No, because that is what makes sense. So if I have an extensive embroidery service contract, you might not need all those things to apply. And so I have an embroidery service contract right here so you can see. This is one of my embroidery service contracts, right? And so this is going to have all the details of the order for my customer, right? And then here's where the agreement really comes into play. Okay, first of all, yours don't have to be all of this, all right? Because I need this. You might not need this. So before we get into that, let's talk about what an embroidery service contract is and why you need it. Regardless to if it's one line or if it's 50 lines, you need this in your embroidery business. An embroidery service contract is an agreement for embroidery services requested and paid for by the client. And it's services that are to be provided by you. So what it does is it sets clear expectations on what both parties are doing. Okay, you need that. So if nothing else, you have it in writing. Your customer have it in writing and you have it in writing. They know what they're supposed to be doing. You know what you're supposed to be doing. And you both are speaking the same language because you are signing the same page. Okay, so to speak, you're on the same page because you're signing the same page, so to speak. And so it's very important. Also, an embroidery service contract can also serve as a reference guide later on. Okay, and so for example, for me, you know, on my embroidery service contracts, there's at the very beginning of the embroidery service contract, it's going to say what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's going to have details of the order, right? And it's going to say exactly what I am doing with the details of this order. And so that might mean that, like today, for example, I delivered a pillow that was custom made from a dress. Okay, now the dress was very sentimental to the client. Okay, the details, which is the second. Hello, I hope everyone is still here. I am so sorry about this internet thing tonight. No one's here again in my home. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I just want to go back into it. I hope you all are still there. I am so sorry. Okay, so let's continue. I don't want to get discouraged. I want to stay positive about it, but it's really annoying. Okay, and so once again, an embroidery service contract is pretty much an agreement between you and the client, and it is very much so needed. I thank you all for hanging in there. I see that we did lose about, 10 people, but about 26 of you remained. Again, I'm not sure what is going on with my internet, but we got a problem tonight. And so, you know what? I'm going to move in a different location. Maybe that's the only thing I'm thinking that is different tonight is the fact that I'm actually in my studio and not in my embroidery room. So, okay, maybe I'll continue. I don't know. I'm just like going crazy. I'm just going crazy. Okay, let's just go back into it. Once again, it is an agreement between you, the embroidery business owner, and the customer, right? And so it is definitely needed, and it can serve as a reference guide between you and the customer, right? And so you want to have it because it informs the customer of exactly what you are supposed to be doing. It tells them exactly what you are charging them for. Okay, so they have the right to know. Nothing should ever be left in question. And I'm lagging again. I'm gonna have to, this is frustrating. I can't do this. Okay, I'm gonna maybe switch and go to a different location. The only thing I could think that I did differently is my son and my husband told me I should be out here, and this is not the way to go. So I'm going to change. I'm going to log off because I don't think that I am on. I can't. Okay, so Sheila is saying, yes, you can. Keep trying. Okay, Stella, I'm going to keep trying. Okay, I'm so frustrated. Okay. All right, and so let me just continue and not try to move everything around. Okay, and so basically what I was saying that on your embroidery service contract, it pretty much tells everybody what they're supposed to do, no question about it. Okay, so that means that after your customer leaves you, after they have paid you and they have left you, no matter if they've given you a deposit or if they've paid for services in full, they know exactly what you are supposed to be doing for them. Okay, and that's how you want your customers to part from you. They feel good because they have a commitment from you as well as they have made a commitment. All right, and so that's one of the another reasons why you need a service contract as well. Now, an embroidery service contract, let's talk about the things that an embroidery service contract should include. Okay, and then I'm going to show you two versions of an embroidery service contract. I'm going to start with mine, and then I'm going to show you an embroidery service contract that I actually have made for one of my mentoring students. And so let's talk about what an embroidery service contract should have on it. Okay, and so if you want to get a pen and paper, you've been waiting for me with all this lagging with the streaming, so I can wait for you to go and grab a pen and a paper for it. Okay, and so here's what an embroidery service contract should include. Number one, it should include your information. Okay, and so that means that even if you have to use one of those invoice books that you get from Walmart or something, you need to write your information. So the customer have a way of contacting you. All right, they have your telephone number, they have your email address. If you don't have a telephone number for your embroidery business, have a way that the customer can contact you. Even if it's an email, tell them that I don't have a telephone number, but you can contact with me with email. Now, you need to be good about answering your emails too and checking them. And so if you don't have a telephone number where they can call you directly, make sure that it at least have an email. The next thing that it should have is the date. Okay, that's the most important thing that you need to talk about the date that they're ordering the services. All right, now, depending on your embroidery business, you can have 3 dates. Okay, 3 dates. You can have the date that the embroidery services was ordered, the date that the embroidery services were shipped and completed and shipped out of your studio, but most importantly, the due date, the expected date that this order is expected. Okay, so if you have 3 dates, then note the 3 dates that you want to have: the order date, the shipping date, and the due date. And if you don't have the shipping date, some people only have 2 dates, then you at least want to have the order date and the expected date. Okay, the shipping date just pretty much kind of helps you monitor and track exactly what's going on at all times, and so it doesn't hurt your business at all. But it's not necessarily necessary, because even when you ship it, it's going to have a shipping number, and the shipping number is going to have the date stamped onto it. So if you don't have that in your system or on your form, no big deal at all. But you at least want to have those 2 order dates so you can track your order after. You can track what's going on with your order well after the transaction has ended. The next thing that you want to have on your embroidery service contract is the payment information. All right, so the payment information is very important. Now, it doesn't necessarily need to be in the order that I am stating. I'm just telling you the information that needs to be on your embroidery service contract. And so the payment information should include the method of payment, the deposit, the balance if there is a balance, okay? And if there is a balance, you also need to include a date to when that balance needs to be paid. So no surprises. You don't want your customer or your client to think that they can give you a deposit, you're going to ship, and then they get to pay you afterwards. No, ma'am. You want to be clear that, okay, you may be giving me a 50% deposit if that's what your requirement is, and the other 50% needs to be paid, and you want to have a date, and you want to make it clear that it's before it is shipped, before it leaves your studio. Because I found also that a lot of times when things are not clear, people think they can give you a deposit, they think you're going to ship, and then they say, oh, I could pay you later. No, you need to be clear that this is not a situation where you would be expecting money and funds after something have been shipped from your studio. And so that is very, very important. And in regards to method of payment, if there is a method of payment that you don't accept, you want to include that as well. So, for example, I have found that a lot of times people only accept Visa and MasterCard. If you only accept Visa and MasterCard, make sure that that's stated. You don't have to talk about what you don't accept. Just make sure that it's stated what you do accept. If it's just a wide variety of credit cards that you accept, then you can just say, you know, accept most major credit cards, something like that. If it's PayPal, then a lot of the times they already know, customers already know that PayPal, you can pay a wide variety using PayPal. So you are good there. All right, so the next thing is, am I still lagging? Because, you know, I have to kind of look. All right, I just want to. So Mary Brooks is saying, I can just hear you. So you can't see me. All right, what about you, Stella Bird? Can you see me, hear me? Am I wasting my time? Sandra, are you there? Hope, are you there? Can any of you hear me? No picture, just sound. Okay, no, the picture is just still frozen. I'm so sorry. All right, I'm going to unplug everything and move everything into the other room because I see that I am still frozen. I'm so sorry.